Hi there, welcome to my channel. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel and my name is Tracy. Today I have for you a Lighting the Way episode on Kringle's upcoming Holiday Reserve candle release in the Enchanted Winter scent. Now these are set to release on Tuesday, October 28th at noon. That's 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. if you are on the Pacific Coast like I am. There are 4 total candles in this Holiday Reserve release. I am going to go ahead and link my other Lighting the Way episodes for the other 3 below in the description box. I am also going to pop a link to my unboxing in that same spot and pop a card up here if you want to see my first impressions on these candles. This episode today is going to focus on the scent notes. I'll talk to you just briefly about the cold impression because I've already gone over that. And then I'll share with you information on strength, throw, how this evolved on warm, and make my recommendation on whether or not I think you should pick this one up. Let's talk first about the beautiful label. Really, really like the label on this one. It feels like winter. It feels like it could be holiday or Christmas, but if you don't celebrate that season, you don't decorate a Christmas tree, this is still good winter decor. It glows. It feels like an icy, cold winter forest. The reserve jars all have the painted black wraparound glass. The wicks are always thin curly and they use 100% soy. This one you can tell I have burned since this is a post-burn analysis, and I've gotten about maybe a third of the way, fourth of the way through the candle. The scent notes on this one, pretty simple given that it's a Kringle candle, are pine, fresh, green, cypress, gin, and woody. And in my cold first impression, I didn't really like the gin note that's in here. It's a very strong juniper berry, which is very common in a gin. They'll use juniper berry to make gin. I did get the pine note. It is very fresh. It is very crisp, cold air on cold. Almost to the point of being like too sharp, too fresh, too strong for me in terms of pine fragrances. I usually like more of a sappy sweetness. I like something to be a little bit woody, something to kind of round out and balance out the sharpness and the brightness and the freshness of a pine and a juniper berry, given the gin note in here. However, on warm, I will say this does evolve. I don't know that I would say it completely softens up, but there's something that becomes much more subtle on warm. What that also means is this is not a powerhouse in terms of strength. I would rate this at a solid medium. It does much better in smaller spaces. It does well in my garage space where I normally test candles. I did have this up in my office and was burning it while I was at work. That location, I feel like I went nose blind to it, sitting right next to it, but if I left the room and came back in, you definitely got its presence. And it would perform okay in the open concept. It didn't fill the space by any means, but if you had it in a particular section, so I have 3 sections in my open concept, if you were in that section, you got its presence, but it didn't creep into the other 2 areas. So I think better for smaller spaces or by multiples if you're trying to fill a larger space. So on warm, I do feel like it evolves a little bit. It feels a little bit softer. I feel like there is more of a sappy vibe that comes out on warm. It's not super sweet. And it has like a bit of like tinge or dankness to it that feels sappy to me, paired with the sharpness from the pine. And then I almost get like cleaner vibes. It's not full on pine sol, but it's that level of fresh that it almost feels like a pine cleaner, or like you cleaned and then you started burning a pine candle. So if you're put off by cleaner vibes, you might not like this one. I'm not always a fan of cleaner vibes, but it doesn't bother me in this case because I do feel like it's well balanced with the other notes that are in here. Now, I was craving this to be a little bit softer, a little bit warmer, a little bit more grounded. And this is going to be really weird to some of you all. But I'm going to share it with you because if you have this candle, you might enjoy the combination. It makes no sense. But I was burning it with Goose Creek's Graveyard Whispers. This is still available, by the way, as of the time of this recording on the Goose Creek website. I think it's the last Scooby-Doo candle and it's on sale. This one's green grass, graveyard soil, and wet moss. And this is a very fresh grass deeply dug, fresh dirt vibe. So it's just this very sweet, fresh, earthy candle that when burned with this one, they are perfect together. The sweetness and the like earthy dirtiness of this one makes this feel a little bit more forest-like and a little bit sweeter and a little bit more well-rounded. And it's a little bit, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas. But I like these two together. So I'm sharing it knowing that this is ridiculous and almost no one would pair these two candles, but it's what I've been doing. So I burned this quite a bit on my own and I was like, yeah, that's okay. And then was like, oh, I'm in love. Almost to the point I may reorder this one just so I can burn it with this one next year too, because I do have backups of this one. I really like it. So just something, you know, if you have both and you want to experiment, give it a try. See what you think. Would I recommend this one? Yes, I would. I think if you're looking for something that feels a little bit different from your standard pine, because that juniper berry really does add something unique. If you're looking for something that is very fresh, very crisp, cold air in terms of pine in winter, this would be good. However, if you're not keen on cleaner vibes, you might not like this one. And if you're looking for a powerhouse, this isn't it. It's not going to fill your space. So check it out if you want to. Again, releasing Tuesday, the 28th of October at 12 noon Eastern time. These are releasing for $34 at full price. And if you use my code 3WickThesis, you will get 15% off and I will earn a small commission. Full disclosure, this was gifted to me during PR. I did not pay for this candle. However, what I've shared with you today is my opinion, not Kringle's. Let me know. Do you have questions about this one? Are you looking forward to it? In terms of the 4 that are coming out, I think I would actually rank this one. I think I'm going to bump this one up to number 3. I think Cold Impression was originally number 4. I'm bumping it up to number 3. I do. I like this one, but it's not my favorite in the bunch or favorites in the bunch, but it is good. And actually, I like all 4 in the collection that's coming out. So pick it up if you want. Ask me questions if you need to. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciated this review. Subscribe if you want to see more Kringle reviews and unboxing videos. I do them on a regular basis along with Bath & Body Works and Goose Creek. All right, y'all. Take care. Head out to my next review if you want to check out another one. Happy shopping. Bye-bye.